and welcome back to Cinematic Sarcastic, the podcast that talks all things movies and television. I'm Natalie, and I'm your host. All right. We are going to talk about The Creator on today's episode. You know we are. You know we had to. I just came back from the movie theater about an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago. I was running back and forth in my mind on whether or not I was going to do like a spoiler review of The Creator or a spoiler-free one. I know that this one pretty much just dropped today. My review is going to go up tomorrow morning. So I am going to do a spoiler-free one. But certainly if you are on YouTube listening to this episode, definitely leave me comments on what you thought of this one because I've got some opinions and I feel like maybe you guys are going to be maybe not surprised, but considering how grumpy pants I am about a lot of things or how difficult it is to make me happy in terms of movie making and stuff recently, this one might surprise some of you. So The Creator, for those of you who don't know, is a new movie. Again, like I said, it just dropped today. I went and saw it this afternoon. It is a film about artificial intelligence, kind of sparking this incident, if you will, and creating a war between the United States and what I believe is called New Asia in this film. And basically, New Asia is the last place on Earth that is living side by side with these AI robotics, and the United States clearly is not having that. So the entire movie is basically just the war between the US and the robotics that are still happening in New Asia. And it follows mostly the character of Joshua, played by John David Washington. There are a lot of key players in this one, though. So this is one that is jam-packed with a lot of different characters and different things that are going on here. But I don't feel like it's like overwhelmingly so, and certainly the story is done in such a way that I think it really works out. Gemma Chan is in this one, Ken Watanabe, and then also Allison Janney, who I have seen play some roles in the past where maybe I haven't necessarily enjoyed her character, but oh my golly, she did such a fantastic job in The Creator that I literally, through the entire movie, pretty much anytime she was on the screen, I was like, oh, I just want to punch her in her face. Like, she just does such a good job of being like a bad character, like a bad person, I guess, in this film. She does a remarkable job. And then, of course, the star of the show would be Madeline Yuna, who plays the little girl who you would have seen in the trailer. She is the robot weapon that essentially the United States is going out to attempt to destroy. Now, I was anticipating enjoying The Creator. I was not anticipating how much I was going to enjoy The Creator. I knew probably it was going to be pretty good. This movie is brought to us by writer-director Gareth Edwards, who many of you might recognize. He was the one that also directed Rogue One, and that would be pretty much the last time that I truly was in love with a Star Wars film, would have been back in the time of Rogue One. So I knew that he was going to bring us something exceptional. I wasn't necessarily of the mind that it was going to be as good as The Creator turned out. And so that definitely gives you my thought on The Creator. Absolutely recommend. Absolutely go see it. This one, I don't even think I would say, if you can wait for streaming, definitely not. I went and saw it in like Dolby Digital. It was so beautiful. They filmed it all over the world. The filming locations were phenomenal. This has to be also surprisingly one of the better films, if not one of the best ones of the year that I have seen, where the CGI was so remarkably done. I definitely am not the type of person to throw out like crazy over the top words about things, but I really think that the creator was a film masterpiece. Like the cinematography was so great. The acting was all really good. I really liked the story. I do have some nitpicky things and I will talk about those. But again, those are just like nitpicky things. I don't think it in any way ruins the film at all. I think the creator and kind of the world that was built here is definitely a place that I would like to revisit, i.e. if he ever decided to make another film or a sequel to this, 10 out of 10, I would definitely go see it. Like, I honestly thought in terms of like CGI, storytelling, that sort of thing, that the Avatar, the second Avatar, The Way of Water, was probably going to be the best thing that we saw. I don't know that I can still stand by that. I love James Cameron. Obviously, the things that he did with CGI in terms of The Way of Water and filmmaking, you know, underwater and that kind of thing was pushing the boundaries that we know in terms of filmmaking and CGI and then that sort of thing. But the creator just... it created this, the creator created, of course it did. It created this environment because it takes place on Earth in a very, you know, noticeable and recognizable place. Like it is taking place obviously in the future in 2065. But there wasn't a time in this film that I sat there going, oh gosh, that looks so fake, or I can't really see this happening. Like the way that they did all of the, like, I don't want to say creature creation because that's not the right word, but like the robotic creation and how that blends with just everyday life happening at this time, they did a phenomenal job. Like it just looked like you could walk out of the movie theater and you could see some of these robots, you know, walking around and you would be like, oh yeah, makes sense. The story is also, in my opinion, deeply believable, like how everything takes place. To me, I didn't question that one bit, that would be the way that events would unfold and for the reasons that it would unfold. The only nitpicky things that I will say about it is that the character of Maya, I thought, not that her character was bad in any way, but her character arc or what happened to her, I just didn't necessarily think was terribly plausible. Just in kind of like how things unfold for her, I didn't really think that was the way that it would have really happened. And again, trying not to give out any spoilers or anything, but that is also just like a nitpicky type thing. There were like some things in this that I feel like if you really, really wanted to be nitpicky, like that the robots occasionally will consume food and they don't necessarily explain why or what the purpose of that is because they are still robotics. I didn't quite get that. So again, but these are things that I feel like if we were to revisit this world could just kind of be explained, but I don't think that in any way, shape, or form they take away from the movie itself, how enjoyable it is, how gorgeous it is. I think if you enjoyed the sort of similar quote unquote going native type of films like Avatar, like Dances with Wolves, the creator is definitely going to be right up your alley. If you are not huge into those types of stories, I don't know if this one is necessarily going to be for you, but I loved the story. I loved how they did it. It wasn't too similar to me to Avatar or to Dances with Wolves in the way that it was told. And I really enjoyed this one. I might go see it again. I enjoyed it that much. This one would definitely be one that I would like want to add to my DVD collection or have to be able to watch kind of anytime I feel like it. Like this one, I think just was outstanding. And I think as far as like the main character, for instance, Joshua, I did not enjoy him. I did not like him at all through the majority of the movie, but the ending of it made perfect sense to me. Like the way that his story arc ended and the way that that story unfolded, I was like, now it makes perfect sense. now I understand where they were going with this character and why. And it totally changed my entire perspective on all of the rest of the things that he pretty much did before that point in time. This one is definitely a win for me. So I would absolutely recommend it. I would absolutely check it out if you can. And let me know for sure what you guys think of this one, because I would be very surprised if this one didn't win like movie of the year. Definitely let me know what you think. Those are my thoughts on The Creator. Subscribe if you want to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode.